But our next keynote speaker represents State Senate District 2, including the Humboldt area. He is a lifelong Californian. You're going to hear that passion for California when he comes out. And he was recently named the California Senate Majority Leader in 2022. So please join me in welcoming Senator Mark McGuire.
There we go. How the hell's everybody doing? We need some more offshore wind energy here. So see, there we go. How's everybody doing today? It is an honor to be here, and for those folks who are visiting Sacramento from out of state, we welcome you to the Golden State, and we're grateful that you are here. For those who are traveling from across the state, thank you so much for attending. We welcome you to the state capitol. I have the honor of representing about 40% of the gorgeous California coastline from the Golden Gate Bridge all the way up to the Oregon border, and we couldn't be more excited to be able to get offshore wind started here in the Golden State. Are you ready to go, ladies and gentlemen? My goodness, it's going to be really exciting, and I really enjoyed talking with Dr. Perry and hearing all about Rhett, and he is a much better flyer than Connor is on airplanes. So Connor had a 2-hour meltdown about 2 weeks ago, so good times. I also want to say thank you to Adam Stern for allowing us to be here today. So look, as we know, the Golden State is staring down some extraordinary deadlines to meet our audacious climate goals. And power generation plays a massive role in achieving these new standards. So if we're serious about meeting these deadlines, we must move heaven and earth to deploy new green power generation facilities. And that's why we are so focused on offshore and onshore wind, because we know that it is going to be a bright light in the Golden State's renewable future. Here's the piece. California's burgeoning offshore wind resource, it is vast and it is untapped. And we know that it will be a main source of power for the world's fourth largest economy, and it's going to help us revitalize coastal economies with family-sustaining jobs. And the state also realizes that budgets are value statements. Am I right, ladies and gentlemen? And that is why the state is investing tens of millions of dollars to be able to modernize our ports up and down the California coast, preparing it for offshore wind. $11 million was secured last year with Humboldt Bay to begin the environmental and engineering work. An additional nearly $50 million was invested last year for port infrastructure all across the Golden State. And we know that this is just a drop in the bucket, and there is much more work to come. And we're also investing in bringing forward a stronger workforce. I'd like to get in some details on that quickly. $350 million. $350 million is now being invested by the state of California in Cal Poly Humboldt. We are turning, hell yes, we got some lumberjacks in the house, everybody. My goodness, watch out. Oh, dang. We're turning that campus into the third Polytechnic University right here in the state of California. And this is a massive investment and commitment by the state of California to better invest in the Humboldt region and to bring about a more technical workforce, which will be a complement for the expansion of offshore wind off of California's north coast. So what about transmission? And I'm going to be really honest, I believe that is the Achilles heel and where this state needs to focus most. So here's where we're moving. The state is currently reviewing its existing transmission system, which is the backbone of our energy grid, to make sure that our transmission system is going to be able to meet our clean energy goals and bring clean offshore wind power to the rest of the Golden State. But we also need to do more to ensure that we are able to find ways to bring these resources online faster, to be able to expedite the rebuild of antiquated transmission systems. And that is why we are so focused on that here on the North Coast. We have to rebuild and modernize our transmission system in Northern California to ensure that the rest of the state benefits from offshore wind power. And we have to focus on permitting. And that is why we have introduced Senate Bill 286, the Offshore Wind Expediting Act. This bill will expedite the stateside offshore wind permitting process through the State Coastal Commission and the State Land Commission. Here's what this bill will do. For the first time in this state's history, it is going to cut a massive 3 to 5 years off of the stateside permitting approval process. This is the first time that we have ever advanced an initiative like this, and that is why we have to pass SB 286. Now, we're able to advance this streamlined permitting while at the same time ensuring that we have environmental safeguards, that they remain in place, that we protect California's storied fishing fleet's interests, and that we advance resources that benefit communities and develop family-sustaining careers through workforce education programs right there at Cal Poly Humboldt and College of the Redwoods. SB 286 would also require the Coastal Commission, the California Coastal Commission, to use its consolidated permitting process for any new development and delivery and transmission of offshore wind energy projects. Again, this permitting process, for the first time in California's history, will cut 3 to 5 years off of the stateside permitting process. And that's not all. This bill would require the Coastal Commission and the State Lands Commission, the two main permitting agencies for the state, to facilitate joint CEQA, California Environmental Quality Act, and NEPA documents for any offshore wind proposed project, so that we have a joint approach with our federal partners, which will also rapidly speed up permitting timelines. In addition to these desperately needed streamlined initiatives, the bill is also going to focus on front-loading the work to be able to move these projects forward by creating collaborative efforts to bring folks together through a statewide task force. So here's what this task force would do. Over the next 2 years, it would create a statewide set of standards to ensure offshore wind development avoids and minimizes impacts to ocean fisheries, and to the maximum extent possible, mitigate for any unavoidable impacts. And it ensures that all stakeholders are in the room at the same table, helping move these projects forward. I'm going to end it right here. Look, the Golden State, we have an amazing opportunity in front of us, and it's thanks to the leadership of so many in this room here today. We know that we have to get this right, and it's time to get both the offshore wind and fishing industries and other stakeholders at the table to develop a collaborative approach that will help bring forward this bright light in California's renewable future. The legislature, the governor, and state agencies, we've been moving heaven and earth to make California a leader in offshore wind development, to make sure that we can meet our clean energy goals, but also preserve what makes California so great. Got to tell you this. We look forward to working with each and every one of you in the months and years to come, and we look forward to getting this job done, to be able to get these turbines out into the Pacific for the betterment of California and the future of all generations. Again, thank you so much for allowing us to be here. We look forward to working with you in the months to come. Thank you so much, everybody, and enjoy lunch. Thank you.